Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. This is Attorney Brooke Goff. Per usual, I like to, if I'm in an environment where it sparks something that I feel like I should, remind the public or educate the public about, I do that. So here I am. I'm at my pool. Finally, a nice day, right? Now we're looking at another week of rain, so that stinks. But and I think it's a great time to remind everybody about some pool safety. So with that said, firstly, I'll show you. I love my pool, right? We bought a house. We wanted a house with a pool. We're one of the minority. We ended up doing the whole thing over, putting up our own safety protocols and everything else, giving that. I'm an attorney, and anybody that doesn't know, but my wife's also an attorney. She's a defense attorney, so she works for the other side. So it's important. I mean, you get two attorneys, both that do injury law, and you're going to hear my son in the background a bit. He's in the pool. This is what you get. You get a bunch of safety protocols around the pool, which is good, and only you guys can stand to learn from that. Firstly, let me show you the pool. I'm going to show you why. So here's the pool. I'm not supposed to flip it, I guess. So the little splashing you see is Grayson, right? And I don't know if you guys can see, but there, and I think, I can zoom in. There you go. There's a sign in the pool, right? Caution, shallow water, no diving. And then you can also see that we have a pretty, let's see how I can make this smaller now. I don't know that I can. Oops. Oh, here we go. Nope. Let's see if I can make this smaller. I definitely made it bigger. Okay, so you guys see the sign, right? So that sign, the yellow sign over there that I just showed you, I have a very large fence around the pool. I have double locks on both fences, okay? Now, obviously, this is for my own personal safety for my family, for my 6-year-old son, and also this is for the safety of, obviously, if a neighbor's kid or something comes, toddling over, that they don't come into the pool area. However, let me talk to you about the yellow sign. So we talk about the locks, right? We know what the locks are for. Locks are to keep our kids out, keep other kids out that aren't supposed to be in, and animals, everything else. But the signs. So I just zoomed into the caution, shallow water, no diving sign that's right around the middle of the pool. Let me tell you why that's important. Let's say somebody comes over, you can't always watch all the guests, right? We hope that when the parents of our friends bring their kids over, that they watch them and everything else. We've had really good luck with that too. But let's just say somebody, a kid or adult or a teenager, decides to try to dive into the middle of the pool. Actually, really any of the pool, given the signs in the middle. That's going to protect us. Now, I hope I never have to deal with that. But unfortunately, when you own a pool, you have to be aware that that could happen, right? And this sign is not a get out of jail free card by any means at all. It's the caution, shallow water, no diving sign. This is our notice. So basically, if somebody tries to dive in the pool, let's say a guest or something, or a guest of a guest, and they break their neck. Well, I hope that never happens, but it happens. They're likely going to claim we didn't know, right? Like we were never warned or told that the pool was shallow and there was no inspection, et cetera, et cetera. This sign is our defense to that, right? So you did know because there's a caution, shallow water, no diving sign in the pool. I got to tell you, we have a lot of friends with pools. I've gone to almost all their homes, and we've had days at the pool, and I've never seen a sign. Guys, this sign, I think my wife got on Amazon for $7 or something. Get one. This is what it looks like. Sorry again, about my son. You hang it somewhere where people can see it. There it is. Easy peasy, and then there's no questions. It's not going to get a get out of jail free card. Yes, if somebody breaks their neck diving in your pool, they're still going to sue you. But this is your defense, and honestly, it might not help you up front, but as you move along in the case, all of a sudden, when you go in front of a jury and you blow up the picture of that sign right around the place where the person dove in, it's going to help your case significantly. If you have a pool, if you have parents with a pool, if you have friends with a pool, get them one of these signs. Honestly, I think, like I said, it was $6 or $7 on Amazon. Comes overnight. It's great. And the other thing is, don't just buy it and then just keep it so. Hang it right in the middle of the pool area so people can see. Honestly, guys, if you're not having professional divers come over, anybody should have this sign. Shallow water is it's basically, this is an Olympic pool unless you have one, which if you do, great. I mean, even 8 feet is shallow to dive. You don't know how people, there's some big people. You have people that come over drinking or hanging out and they're 6'5". Well, guess what? It's 6'5". That's only 1.5 feet longer than they are. And they very well might go, face down, and it's not going to be a good scene. Also, a pool rule sign is good. So we got this on Amazon too. pool rules. I'll actually walk you guys over so you can see it. So this pool rule sign is super important because it talks about what your expectations are. You should hang it right near the shallow end. And guys, I'm telling you things that I've done these cases. I do lots of them. And I do a lot of unfortunate drowning cases and everything else. And this, unfortunately, is a fact of life. I'm telling you guys how to protect yourself in the event you have friends over or anything else. And if 4th of July is coming, if you have a party, this is going to protect you. So here's a pool rule sign. Seriously, no diving, pushing, breath holding, roughhousing, running, yelling, screaming, obviously peeing in the pool, glassware, or bombing, which is a cannonball, I assume. That is so important. Why? Well, it's because you're telling them what there is not allowed to do in the pool. If they are doing what you're telling them not to do, how is it that a jury is going to buy into, and they might, but how is it a jury is going to buy into the fact that they're suing you for an injury they got when you warned them not to do it or that there was a rule of a pool? So, guys, super important. It's going to potentially save you thousands and thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in the event that you are ever sued. So we have a water slide, right? And we put a lot of thought into getting this, okay? Lots of thought. Great water slide. It's like one out of a, like a park of some sort. So we love it, right? But there are warnings on the slide. And I'll tell you, we had to put them on because the people that install the slide don't put them on. Look, see? Oops, sorry. I guess I have to continue rotating it. There you go. So you got to keep the warnings on the slide. 250-pound weight limit. Know what your weight limits are, guys. Tell people when they come visit, you know, we all know big guys or big women, and it's just not the slide for you. The last thing you want is somebody going, you know, obviously down, the slide breaking, the slide collapsing, them sustaining a serious injury. Unfortunately, pool injuries are serious injuries. They always are. Never, ever, ever have had it not be one. And we also have another sign over to my left. I would say that you should have, don't like pepper the signs, but at least 2 signs in your pool area. Shallow water, no diving. My recommendation is no matter what your deal is, okay? Whether it's a private pool, whether you're like, hey, look, I have a deep pool or nobody dives in my pool, hang the sign. Now, with 4th of July coming, people have pool parties. We're probably gonna have one. And let me talk to you a little bit about that. People don't understand liability when it comes to pools. I mean, obviously, if you have friends over and their kids get hurt or something, yes, you understand that. But what happens if somebody comes over your house, they have 3 beers, they get in the car, and they go down the road and they hit somebody? Guess what? You're getting sued. You are. You're getting sued. They're going to sue your homeowner's insurance. Usually, I can tell you right now, drunk driving cases never end well. I've seen the most significant injuries in my career from drunk driving cases. Why? The person's careless, they're reckless, they're not paying any attention to what they're doing, and they don't try to put on the brakes to try to avoid hitting somebody. So usually it's these horrible injuries where it's a family going home, or you know, a mom after a 12-hour shift, or a dad, and their injuries are catastrophic. It affects them lifelong. So guys, if somebody comes over to your home and they have one beer, you're potentially at risk. Now, obviously you get into forensics and everything else. My point is, if you have people over and they have a few drinks, don't let them drive home. You can actually buy, and this might sound overkill, it's not, I promise. You'll think it's overkill until it happens to you. You can buy little breathalyzers people can breathe into. It's like $70 on Amazon. Honestly, if you're a person or a household that has parties, you should have one. And you don't sound like an ass about it. You sound like a responsible human being. And take their keys when they come in the door. Or what we always do is we park, my wife and I park on the street, and everybody kind of parks in the driveway a lot of times. And then, so at that point, they're usually blocked in anyways, and a bunch of cars have to move. So it's important because then we see, right? We see what the condition of the person is prior to leaving. Now, have we had this problem? No, we haven't. Will we have it? I'm sure, guaranteed, certain we're going to have it eventually down the road. So if somebody's at your home, and I'm going to use a pool party, for example, because we're in the summer, and they have a few drinks, the sun's beating down on them, whatever, they're buzzed, whatever you want to say, and they leave your home, and they get in an accident, and they hurt somebody, you will be sued. Because that person is going to be questioned, and they have to be honest under oath, right? And they're going to say, oh, I just left Attorney Brooke Goff's house. They're going to be like, oh, this is fantastic. And then I'm going to get a summons in the mail by and through a complaint where they're suing me. the injured driver. Why? Because the person that was driving drunk probably didn't have enough coverage for the catastrophic injuries they caused. Don't do it, okay? If there's drinking at the pool, right? If there's drinking at the pool and people are swimming intoxicated, you're asking for problems. I had a case, one of the first cases I ever handled, was a case where these friends were out. They were in the middle of a lake in Connecticut. At a dock at a lake in Connecticut, and the kids were all drunk. One of the kids dove into the lake, hit the bottom, broke his neck, floated up, and he was dead. And not because of the neck injury, the cause of injury was drowning, but he was so intoxicated he couldn't swim. He could swim, but he couldn't swim intoxicated. The kid was like 19 years old. It was one of the most horrible cases ever. I don't like looking at the photos. I don't like looking at anything, and I especially don't like negotiating with an insurance company about the value of somebody's life, okay? So listen to me when I tell you. If there are people who want to drink, fine. 1 beer, fine. 2 beer. Use your best judgment as the party host. As the party host, you have the duty. You should be sober. I mean, quite honestly, you should be. Watch these people that are at your pool, or watch these people at your home. Make sure that they're not leaving drunk, they're not going in your pool drunk, they're not partying too hard. Because I can tell you, literally, it takes 1 second, and your whole life is flipped upside down. And let me tell you, when I sue these people in these pool cases, their lives are upside down for 3 years. Usually, I mean, I will tell you, it's paralysis and death that I deal with pools. Don't do it. Don't be stupid. Be responsible, okay? If you don't feel like babysitting people, then you know what? Go sit by your pool by yourself. Have a couple beers yourself, you know? But please, please, please do not. I have families sue families. I have families fall apart over this. Do not be stupid, and do not allow heavy drinking at the pool. Remember, hang up these $6 signs. It's only a couple. It's potentially going to save you millions. Because I can tell you right now, jurors like visuals. And if they see a yellow caution, shallow water, no diving sign right around the area where the person dove, they're going to be very unforgiving. I hope everybody has a great day and enjoys their day. Like I said, Connecticut, we're not up for many more of these days over the next couple weeks. So enjoy the day. And as always, I hope that you share this video, share it around, save somebody's life, or save a few lives, save a child's life. And I will touch base with you all as the weekend moves on. Thanks, have a great day, and enjoy the sunshine.